The Chiefs just knocked the Texans out of the divisional round with 23-14, with Travis Kelce putting on an absolute show and the defense relentlessly pressuring CJ Stroud to earn yet another trip to the AFC Championship. But instead of focusing on the Texans' lack of discipline and missed opportunities, many are blaming the referees and flags. In today's video, let's break down the game, addressing the controversy and sharing what really went down in this impressive matchup. What's up, buddies? Welcome back. If you are new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button. We cover all AFC West news here on this channel. This game was absolutely amazing, and it kicked off in an electrifying fashion. Nico Remigio opened the game with a huge 63-yard kickoff return, taking the ball deep into the Texans' territory. It was a thrilling moment that quickly turned nerve-wracking as he fumbled the ball. Thankfully, Samaje Perine was there to recover it, setting up Kansas City's offense at Houston's 13-yard line. Unfortunately, the Chiefs had to settle for a field goal as the offense started a bit slow, likely due to many starters not having played in over 20 days. On the Texans' first drive, tight end Dalton Schultz made a big play, hauling in a 34-yard pass from Stroud right up the middle. This would become a recurring theme throughout the night as Houston exploited Kansas City in the middle of the field. At one point, Stroud was 7 for 8, racking up over 100 yards in that area before adjustments were made. George Karlaftis finally stopped the momentum, chasing Stroud down like a predator and setting up a 30-yard field goal from Kaimi Fairbairn to tie the game at 3-3. However, Stroud banged his knee on the play, causing him to hobble a bit before continuing the game. On the Chiefs' next drive, a false start by Jawan Taylor turned a manageable 3rd and 3 into a 3rd and 8. Patrick Mahomes then took a hit to the head and chest area from Will Anderson Jr., drawing a roughing the passer flag. While the helmet-to-helmet contact wasn't blatant, there was enough helmet-to-face mask contact for the officials to throw the flag, giving the Chiefs a fresh set of downs. That drive included some standout plays. First, a 23-yard catch by Travis Kelce up the right side. Then, rookie Xavier Worthy made an incredible 21-yard grab on the left side, using late hands to keep the defender from reacting. It was a savvy, veteran-like move by the young receiver, and arguably the most impressive catch by a Chiefs player all night. Surprisingly, DeAndre Hopkins was targeted just once during the game, finishing with 0 catches and 0 yards, a shocking stat for a player of his caliber. Despite moving back into the red zone, the Chiefs were forced to settle for another field goal after a big stop by Houston's defense, including a great tackle for loss by Will Anderson Jr. Harrison Butker nailed his second kick of the night to give Kansas City a slight edge. On the next Texans drive, the Chiefs' defense made their presence felt. Chris Jones brought down Stroud on 3rd and 8 for a 12-yard loss. It was the first of 8 sacks the Chiefs recorded that night. That sack forced a punt, and while Kansas City's offense got the ball back, they couldn't capitalize, with Mahomes taking a sack on 3rd and 4, leading to a punt of their own. CJ Stroud showed off his mobility with a huge 28-yard journey on 3rd and 10, keeping Houston's drive alive. But on the next 3rd down, former Texan Charles Omenihu made a massive play, strip-sacking Stroud for a 5-yard loss. That set up Kaimi Fairbairn for a 55-yard field goal attempt, but the kick went wide right. That miss gave Kansas City a great field position. It looked like they might capitalize in a big way when Patrick Mahomes launched a perfect deep ball to Hollywood Brown. Unfortunately, Brown couldn't haul it in, but Travis Kelce showed up in a big way on the very next play. Houston sent safety Eric Murray, a former Chief, on a push. This left the middle of the field wide open, and Kelce took full advantage. He caught a pass with nobody around him, broke a couple of tackles, and rumbled all the way down to the 6-yard line. That play marked Kelce's longest yards after catch effort of the entire season. From there, Kareem Hunt punched it in with a 1-yard run, extending Kansas City's lead to 13-3 with just under 5 minutes left in the half. Stroud and the Texans tried to respond, connecting on a couple of plays to get near the 20-yard line. However, a sack for a loss of 8 and a holding penalty pushed them back. This time, Fairbairn managed to sneak in a 48-yard field goal just inside the right upright. That cut the deficit to 13-6 heading into halftime. Houston came out swinging to start the second half and put together their best drive of the game. They converted multiple 3rd downs with Joe Mixon doing most of the effort. The Texans marched 82 yards over 15 attempts, eating up 10.5 minutes of the clock. Mixon capped the drive with a touchdown, cutting into the Chiefs' lead. Kansas City's defense got pushed back on that drive, and it was definitely a concerning moment in the game. Houston had a chance to tie the game at 13 each, but Kaimi Fairbairn missed the extra point, keeping Kansas City ahead by 1. At that point, the Chiefs' offense needed a long drive to give their defense some much-needed rest. Travis Kelce came through again, converting a 3rd and 6 to keep the drive alive. Then chaos began. Patrick Mahomes fumbled the snap on a broken play, picked it up, and tried to make something happen. As he slid to the ground, he got hit, drawing a 15-yard penalty. The Chiefs kept the momentum going, with Kareem Hunt converting a crucial 4th and 1 by spinning off a tackle. From there, Mahomes again utilized Kelce. Kelce caught a pass to bring Kansas City inside the 10-yard line, and on 3rd and goal, Mahomes stepped up and rifled a pass to Kelce as he was falling to the ground. Kelce found just enough space to haul it in for a touchdown, a vintage Mahomes to Kelce moment. The Chiefs extended their lead to 20-12. The image of Kelce staring down linebacker Azeez Al-Shaair after the play created one of the coldest photos in recent memory. A true moment of dominance. Houston's next drive started with Nico Collins helping the Texans cross midfield. But on 3rd and 10, Justin Reid made a huge play designed by Steve Spagnuolo, shutting the Texans down. On 4th and 10, Houston hurried to the line, seemingly hoping to catch Kansas City off guard. Instead, George Karlaftis chased down Stroud and sacked him for a 16-yard loss. It was a phenomenal defensive stand by the Chiefs. Kareem Hunt then took over, breaking off back-to-back runs of 11 and 12 yards. Xavier Worthy added a 9-yard catch on 3rd and 10, but the Chiefs opted for a field goal on 4th and 1 from the 9-yard line. It was the right call, extending Kansas City's lead to 11 points with under 5 minutes remaining. Stroud was sacked for the 5th time by Karlaftis. Despite that, Houston converted a big 3rd and 10 to Dalton Schultz and followed it with an 18-yard catch by Nico Collins. With the Texans within striking distance, the Chiefs' defense reeled up the pressure. Felix Anudike-Uzomah sacked Stroud on 2nd and 12, and Karlaftis followed with his 3rd sack of the night on 3rd down. It was a dominant display by the defense, especially Karlaftis, who seemed to be everywhere in this game. As George Karlaftis ran past a tight end and a running back attempting to block, he completely shut that play down. The Texans chose to attempt a 35-yard field goal to make an 8-point game. At that point, their only chance was to convert an onside kick, score a touchdown, and then go for a 2-point conversion. The odds weren't in their favor, but any remaining hope was completely crushed when Leo Chenal blocked the field goal attempt, his 2nd blocked kick of the season. That officially put the game in the Chiefs' favor. From there, the Chiefs ran 4 plays for a total of negative 23 yards, draining the clock. The drive ended with punter Matt Ariza running around in the back of the end zone to burn time before stepping out for safety. That unexpected play still left the Chiefs up by 9 points, more than one score, with only 11 seconds left. After the safety kickoff, Stroud took a knee, sealing the Texans' 23-14 loss in this exciting divisional round matchup. Now let's get to the so-called main issue, the officiating. Many fans blamed the referees, claiming the game was clearly rigged for Kansas City. The Texans were flagged 8 times for 82 yards, compared to the Chiefs' 4 flags for just 29 yards. But here's the truth. It wasn't about the referees. The Texans lost because of their lack of discipline. This team wasn't ready for the championship or Super Bowl. That was evident not just by the final score, but by the attitudes of the players and coaches after the game. Houston's lack of discipline was on full display from the opening kickoff. After Nico Remigio returned the kickoff, one of their players threw his helmet off and even shoved a coach on the sideline. That was on the first play of the game. The fact is, good teams find a way to overcome bad officiating. It happens in every game. The Chiefs aren't favored by the referees. They simply find ways to execute under pressure. They've proven time and again that they can rise to the occasion under the bright lights of national television. In more simple words, they always find ways to win. Don't believe it? Here's the evidence. Josh Dubow of the Associated Press shared an interesting stat last night. Since 2018, when Patrick Mahomes became the starter, the Chiefs have been penalized for 693 more yards than their opponents, including playoff games. That makes Kansas City the 4th worst in penalty yard differential during that span. Of course, the instant rebuttal is, it's not about the overall numbers, it's about when the flags are thrown. The idea is that the Chiefs get preferential treatment from the referees in key moments, especially late in games. Well, here's the reality. Since 2018, the Chiefs rank 7th worst in penalty yard differential during the 4th quarter or overtime of one-score games. The Chiefs rank 1st in total penalty yards since 2018. They rank 21st in total penalty margin. They are 32nd in offensive penalties committed and 31st in defensive penalties committed. In summary, the narrative that the Chiefs are favored by the referees is a literal myth. Sure, there are bad calls in every game for every team, but this idea of consistent favoritism, it just doesn't convey the truth. The truth is that losers struggle to handle it when winners win. They cry, complain, and try to discredit greatness. The Chiefs' offense wasn't flawless in this game. Mahomes completed 16 of 25 passes for 177 yards and a touchdown. While the stat line wasn't spectacular, he once again made plays that only he can make in key moments. Crucially, he didn't turn the ball over against one of the best takeaway defenses in the league, the Texans. Kareem Hunt led the run game with just 8 carries for 44 yards, an impressive 5.5 yards per carry. The Chiefs, however, struggled in critical situations. They converted just 4 of 11 third downs and went 1 for 2 on fourth down. In the red zone, they were 2 for 5, partly due to the Texans' elite defense. Kansas City's defense was outstanding. They sacked C.J. Stroud 8 times and pressured him on 23 dropbacks. Stroud endured a pressure rate of 56%, the second highest in any NFL playoff game since ESPN began tracking this stat in 2009. Now, when the Texans gave up a huge kick return, missed a field goal, and whiffed on an extra point on special teams, how could anyone expect them to win? Especially against a team like Kansas City that rarely makes mistakes in the big games. Don't blame the referees, blame poor performance. And let's not forget Andy Reid. With this win over the Texans, Reid notched his 300th career victory as a head coach. He joins an elite group of just 3 other coaches to achieve that milestone: Don Shula, Bill Belichick, and George Halas. That's greatness all around for Kansas City. So, what are your thoughts on this Chiefs win? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.